Alright, thanks as always for tuning into this episode of Gears Tactics. This episode is, as always, done on the insane difficulty with no death. Everything, really, is in the description. Ways to support me, as I'm a small channel. I've got a Discord, Twitter, Twit, links to directly support, and there's a playlist for all of the missions. So if you see a mission that you're a bit stuck on, check out the playlist. Alright folks, welcome to Act 2, Chapter 4, Cover of Darkness. This is, well, I don't even know what level or what kind of mission we're on, how many numbers we're going through, but we're slowly getting through the Tactics series. Wanted to pick it back up and get the job done. So this mission is a sort of raise the bridge and conquer the enemies. It's a pretty straightforward mission. And it does see us introduce a few new enemies to the fray. So as always with this mission and this kind of playthrough, the game takes a lot of time to, talk through the moves. There's a lot of decision making that goes through. If I wasn't to cut it, the video would be like hours long. Maybe not hours, but you know what I mean. So to make it more enjoyable, I'm just showing you the positive moves, the winning moves that I did to sort of win the level, complete the mission, and advance. So each level in Gears Tactics has a sort of different difficulty, a different approach to solving. Got to find a different solution. For this one, I decided to go wide and really deal with all of the wretch threats. Now, wretches immediately attack if they get in range, and they're pretty much a one-shot. So my job here is to keep my distance, avoid the one-shots, and clear out as many as possible. Because as always with tactics, the more enemies on the screen, the more possibilities, the more moves, the more angles you can get caught out by. And it just gets pretty tough to actually advance. So I've taken Sid off to the right here. He's using his pistol because he had a bit more accuracy. We've thrown one grenade. We're thinking about overwatching. You can see now that, I'm beginning to thin out the enemies. I'm figuring out what the best move is, and we decided to lob a grenade here, and we're continuing to thin out the enemies. We have a cross here with Miss Violet. We have a sniper directly in front of me. We have 3 wretches remaining, all pretty low HP. If I begin to fire off, so I'll just begin to fire off some shots right now. With the sniper, can think about reloading, maybe backing off, setting up a crossfire. Again, early on, it's all just about getting the. There's a few tough missions where you seem to have a load of enemies early on, and that's the difficulty. And then once you figure out kind of where to position, it becomes a lot more fluid, a lot more fun. So we have one off to the left who dealt with the left pack, one off to the right, and sort of 2 crossing in the middle. With a couple grenades, a couple overwatches, we're managing to get through this nice and safe, nothing too risky. And that's the thing with playing on Insane with no deaths. You can't really take any risks, you can't revive your teammates. Once they're dead, you're restarting. And it gets pretty, it can get pretty, I guess, for some, maybe draining to play, but I find it really rewarding. Yeah, it's a bit difficult, but once you get into the swing of things and you sort of get into the flow of the game, each level sort of has its, not repetitive pattern, but it kind of has a set pattern. Your grenades are your best friends, and you're really gonna just have to play it safe. On missions where there's no time limit, really do take your time, unless you happen to know that in the mission maybe something comes behind you, more enemies drop. But typically, when a mission isn't timed, that means it's a little bit more difficult in some regards, and you can take your time here to not get caught out. So that's exactly what I did. I dealt with all of the wretches fine. And we're just going to take our time and really think about the maneuver. I can lob a grenade here with Miss Violet and take out this one. That's our whole threat gone with that grenade. And we have a guy over to the right here. I can think about nading it. That's just purely to deal damage and knock it out of this overwatch. And then we can have a look at actually maybe firing some shots off into the distance with Sid. I'm not sure I can get an angle here, and I don't want to die, so I'm thinking about maybe hiding Sid, maybe pushing up with Miss Violet. Not really sure about the situation. I actually can chainsaw. Now, what I could have done is chainsaw him. Could have not naded, but I'm deciding, alright, I'll just play it safe. I back off here, and I'll just tuck back. The reason I didn't chainsaw that was I think I didn't want to chainsaw and then be left out in the open. Instead we got the sniper to deal with the threat, and there's just one guy left in the hill, so one threat remaining, and we're going to kind of push our units up bit by bit to make our way to the advancement circle, thinking about picking up that box whilst I can. You know, as always, if you can pick up the crates, you should do, because sometimes you get a really decent chest piece, just a little extra boost in damage, and that all helps when you're trying to do it on the toughest difficulty. You know, every little bit of damage helps. Now this was a bit unfortunate because he actually broke through that overwatch. He could have turned and shot me and killed me. Luckily he overwatched. However, this does now actually give me an opportunity to chainsaw, and we'll take that opportunity nicely, and we're going to head into the circle. Now once one person's in the circle, it's just sort of an activation thing. You have to go and pull up this lever on the bridge. I was a bit unsure like how many people I wanted to put in the circle. You know, were more enemies going to drop, but no, once you're in the circle, you just have to raise the bridge. So I just basically put everybody on the same level, and I'm just going to move them up one by one. Violet here is going to open up this bridge. Slowly does it. There we go. The bridge begins to spin, motors are spinning, and the level is getting raised up here. So, that's kind of the first area dealt with. Now we've got to deal with this sort of emulsion tank. And we've got to push up. So, we're going to push all our units up here. I'm going to sit one back. This bit was a bit tricky. This area took me, let's say 5 or 6 attempts to sort of figure out exactly how to do this area. What I ended up doing was just sitting really far back, not overcommitting, and just setting up a ton of overwatches. Every time I pushed out, I felt like I got flanked, cut off, pincered, and it just felt better just to sit back and really let them make the move, rather than me trying to predict where they're going to go. So this is I think it's the first time the Countess has been revealed to us. I'm not sure, I can't remember. But the Countess sort of gives them healing, sort of tankiness. It just makes the fight more awkward. So you obviously want to deal with them as soon as you can, dodging a few partial hits there whilst I'm in cover. So I'm in a Overwatch setup here, kind of pinned down. I mean, I could move out of the way, but I figured I'd just fire off. Good accuracy, good chance to hit means we can down that guy. Now we could think about executing, but that's going to put us in the direct fire of the Overwatch, so we don't want to do that. However, I use the sniper here to use one of the abilities that you'll shoot. Killing the downed enemy, I think, gives me a reload there. I'm actually watching this on 1/4 quality in the preview due to my PC lagging because I've got such a massive project file open, but I'm pretty sure that's what I did. Next up, we have this ticker. These tickers actually cause the problem, weirdly. So these tickers just absolutely gun it for you and blow you up. And I was having a difficulty of killing it in one rotation as to the ticker wouldn't break through the crossfire and blow me up. Like, because once you shoot them, they sort of activate and run towards you, and that's the difficulty that I was having. So we're going to sort of take a wide berth here on the left of Sid and a wider flank here with the sniper, and just kind of pincer it from the left and right. That seems to be, when there's not too much action, it seems pretty good to spread out. And when there's a lot of action, it seems to be quite good to be contained in a little pocket, then you're not getting flanked from multiple places. But because there's not too much going on, I'm kind of spread out here and just trying to figure out what exactly I want to be doing. So, and I'm not sure what's coming around the corner. I'm not sure if I want to go wide, if I want to push straight in. So we're just kind of sat figuring out, well, I could go round the left-hand side here. You know, we could push up, try disable shot the Overwatch. We ended up just thinking, I'm really not sure what's going on, and just over deliberating really, and just overwatching. Now, of course, I could show those deliberations for every single turn, but again, that would be very long. So we try to not show all of the deliberations because, yeah, it can get a bit long. You can see here I'm actually having some issue where I was streaming live and my live stream cut out, but luckily I was locally recording, so we still have the run saved. So there's a few internet issues going on there, but we just decided to play it safe and Overwatch. Because again, it's not a time-based thing. There's no minimum or maximum amount of turns you have to do. So yeah, just take your time, move on through, and he's gonna bump into the double Overwatch setup here and get melted down. Next drone's gonna push up and 2 more tickers. At this point, I'm thinking like, right, we need to get moving here. So we have one off to the left.
Yep.
We have a chainsaw opportunity we could look to, an execution opportunity. I'm going to push up with Miss Violet here and go for a nade. Have a fish for the nade. You don't want to nade a downed guy, that's a waste. Unless for some odd reason you really need to, but yeah, that's obviously a waste. I'm thinking about pushing up and then maybe being able to nade both those tickers.
Setting up a perimeter.
I wasn't sure if I'd make it, so I just overwatched. And what I'm trying to do here is not get killed by 2 tickers pushing me, because I think it's happened 3 or 4 times before. So I'm going to pick up this crate. I'm going to go wide with a sniper. And luckily here, I think it's just caught in that crossfire. That's decent. We've got 2 tickers in the middle and a drone also getting caught there with the extra power from Violet and a large magazine. And this ticker here pushes up. And this is where it gets a bit hectic, because yeah, you shoot them and don't kill it, it will move and it will push and it will blow up Miss Violet. So I decided to get Sid out of there, flank on the left, go for a kind of a Hail Mary shot and actually partially hit it, which was a surprise. Just wanted to get that Overwatch out of the way. So here again, I'm thinking let's get her out of the way of these tickers, deal with them properly, because again the main threat here is actually shooting it not dying and then pushing it. What I could have done is kept Miss Violet there and then thrown that grenade. That could have also been a play. So that was kind of a wasted turn there. And you can see what's happening right now. I've got one guy on the right and one guy on the left, and we're going for sort of 2 down the middle and 1 on each side, because I want to try to take these rooftops. I just figured like that would be the best play for this mission. Again, this one was one of the slower missions I've done in terms of action. It wasn't particularly action-packed, there wasn't a lot of enemies going on, and it wasn't particularly difficult. It was just trying to work the angle and avoid all of the tickers, and I figured, well, the best way to avoid them is to get up on the roof, so that's what I did. So we're going to push Sid here right up onto this roof, and then that kind of eliminates the ticker threat, right? And that's what I tried to do whilst playing through, is just try to get rid of a certain threat and be like, okay, like, that's one less thing to think about.
I read you.
Yeah, it sounds obvious, but I mean, that's kind of how it is. I'm going to take the sniper onto the roof, tuck these 2 down the middle, and that's really the play. 1 on either side, 2 in the middle, and just slowly sort of pincer the middle area with 4 angles.
On Overwatch.
Yeah, I don't need to explain some of this, you know, sometimes I might just go quiet as it plays out. I don't need to over talk when there's nothing crazy going on. So you can say with an 82% chance I missed. And because I've targeted it, it moved. And that's the risk. If you've got a few enemies nearby, you make it move, your teammate gets blown up, you're restarting. So make sure if you're engaging on the ticker, you're killing it in one turn. That would be my, I guess, advice for this particular mission.
Understood.
Now what I did here was I did suppressing fire, and that was just so even if I didn't kill it, which I didn't, the ticker can't move. And again, that just takes a move from the enemy away. You know, I know that's not going anywhere. I don't have to think about that for this turn. And the more information you have, obviously, the easier the game becomes. If you know where they can and can't be, well, for one, you'd be cheating, but two, it'd be damn easy, right? So that's why I did that suppression move. Now that I've got the high ground, I can lob a grenade down. And now you can see our little pincer maneuver is set up. Got some grenades coming in, and just about here, through the eye of a needle, managed to find the angle. Great throw there. Managed to kill that enemy. So the ticker can't move, it's just the Cantus now. And now we have a sort of a four-way angle on it, which is great.
Ready or not, scumbags.
So we can ticker this grenade. You know, we could maybe plant a grenade down there. I was thinking about planting a grenade and then pushing up. That was a thing I was thinking of. I was like, well, you know, it's not going to come past me, is it? And the grenades, you know, the thrown grenade's not going to kill it. So hey, I'll just plant one. That way, if I shoot it and it doesn't die, it can run forwards onto the tag grenade. This time it didn't, but Sid's going to have another attempt at it. And he's actually struggling with this ticker. Two shots and a miss there, so just going to give him a reload, but that's okay, because the ticker's on the floor right there, so no real big issues. And this was an incredible amount of damage. A crit absolutely melted this Cantus over here. So absolutely rips through that Cantus, no problem. So last guy is in the middle, and it's a ticker. So just keep your distance, that's all we've got to do here, name of the game.
Moving.
Awaiting order.
So I figured I'd overwatch this in case it pushed me, and then I would shoot next turn with Miss Violet, because it's not going to climb ladders, so it was okay. Use the opportunity there to go and get this crate. And you'd be surprised at how much this little ticker was causing me some problems. Sometimes that's just the way it falls. Finally, with a boom, it goes down. And that is sort of the area sort of cleared up, and then we're going to be able to deal with this tank in the middle.
Affirmative.
Alright, so back to the sniper on the roof. We've got some grenades been thrown down here. He's still in a precarious situation, and the enemies are now going to spawn up around the extraction zone, shall we call it. Ton of wretches. I think there are a few more tickers. You can see the extraction zone there, so obviously I don't want to be down there where there's loads of enemies. I'm going to try stay on the roof, keep my height advantage, use my range. I was thinking about maybe going up top with that mulcher and looking down. I actually made a mistake here, because what I was going to do was push and overwatch this corner, or grenade the corner, but I realised if I was to do that, they wouldn't die, and I wouldn't have enough action points to get back into safety, and multiple wretches would slap me to my death. So I figured that was a bit of a misplay. So yeah, I think I end up moving him back. Well, I should do anyway if I don't, but I should do, yeah. I'm going to pick him up here again. I was thinking about tagging a grenade, but then No, I can't move. So it's just a misplay. Didn't check my action points and had to move him back, so didn't really make any progress there. Back up on top of the roof now. Obviously, your height advantage peeking over with a sniper, 100% chance to hit. So it's time to start opening fire on these guys.
They won't see you coming. Last round.
Ultimate shot means that because I killed the enemy, I get a free reload. So that saved me an action point and I'm free to shoot again. This time I figure, you know what? Should we try the sniper on the Cantus? And we missed. It was a 50-50. I figured I'd go for it, you know, try to deal damage on it whilst I can. Gonna have another attempt here on a crit that, deal with that. Next turn is coming up. And you can see actually these wretches can indeed climb the roof, which I wasn't aware of. And I, by the skin of my teeth, survived. So do bear in mind, these wretches can climb up. I wasn't aware of that.
I'm on it.
So what ended up happening here is I tried to save him, because he can't shoot, because if you didn't know, if you get near a wretch, they automatically attack, so you can't attack it with him. I'm having to now save him, I'm shooting and I'm thinking, well, if I miss it again, he's going to die. So how do I save him? Do I grenade him? Well, I can't grenade it because I'm going to kill my own guy. I've got myself in a big predicament because I didn't realise wretches could climb the roof. So I'm trying to find an angle here where I can nade the wretch and not kill my own guy. So that's the predicament we're in. I was thinking, like, I shoot, can I chainsaw it? No. Can I heal him? Because I just couldn't nade him without killing him. So what I did was I healed him up here. Now, because he's been healed up with this recovery patch and this stim, now the guy on the stairs is able to grenade the wretch. And if I can find the angle here, it's only going to take a bit of HP off now, and my guy's going to stay alive. So sometimes I have to think on the fly when you don't want any deaths, and luckily I thought about that. I healed him up, used the grenade sort of with a bit of friendly fire, but we managed to live. And now my sniper's free to do some business up top. So from this point on, there's just a wretch and a Cantus, and we've got the high ground. There's nothing that can flank us, and jobs are good, and really. We're just going to take out this wretch, ticker, and then deal with this Cantus with some big snipe shots, and that's really wrapping up this mission. So that was Act 4, Cover of Darkness. As always, leave a like and a comment, it helps tremendously for the growth of the channel. So yeah, if anybody has the time to leave a like and a comment, that would be really appreciated. But you can see now 99% accuracy. We can just unload onto this Cantus with some big shots, and then once this last guy's down, we'll be able to deal with that ticker and then move on into the extraction zone nice and safe. So I'm just pushing up here, and I'm figuring, like, well, it's a 25% chance to shoot, I'll just go for it. You know, it's not going to fire back, it won't kill me. No risk there. So there we go, really. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the mission. I'll let the little ending play out, and as always, thanks for tuning in.
Bring it on, I'm ready. Bring it on, bud! Grubs are on the ground. Now get to that bridge mechanism. Okay. Yeah. On it. Heading out. Awaiting order. If that emulsion wasn't for a Bruma, that means Yukon's brewing some fresh bullshit for us. Goddamn terrific. Let's head back.